Hello, Programmers Life. A good evening. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you are always notified when a new episode drops. I was thinking that we are now ready to handle object-oriented programming when it comes to C++. But before that, I would love to dedicate this episode to doing more practice, more programming, just to help us make a recap of whatever we have covered earlier in the previous episodes. So today, I want us to handle some few challenges that are going to help us recall where we truly ended or what we have truly covered earlier in all the episodes ever since we began this journey of C++. So what we are going to have is let me call it actual programming session. What is it going to do? Just making a recap of what we believe we have covered earlier. So we are going to have quite a number of challenges to handle. One is among the questions that I had given you some time back. That is temperature conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, temperature conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now, assume you have a scenario. I know most of you must have done this, but there is no harm in getting more exposure. Maybe somewhere, somehow, something you didn't understand, and it's going to appear back in this example or in this programming session. As I said, or as I told you earlier, we are making a recap in those few sections that might not have been really stable for you. Now, here we are. We have to write a program for a given user, body temperature. Okay, I will note here a program for a given user body temperature. I told you programming handles real life aspects, so here we are. We need to brainstorm about this. So a program for a given user body temperature, okay, measured in, I'll say, degrees, let me say degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I'll cut it short. In degrees Fahrenheit, has to convert that temperature and output it to centigrade. Okay, hope as we are talking, as I'm noting down something, you are also brainstorming of what is going to happen. So the following message, we assume the following message will be printed. Your temperature is, we shall have so we shall have that temperature, then we shall have degrees Celsius. Okay, so is here we assume we are going to have a variable. Okay, I love XYZ. So that XYZ is going to be the temperature in degrees Celsius. Okay, so that is after being measured. So the program should warn the user that they are sick, okay, in case it's higher than the normal temperature. So we know that normal this is a message that we shall have. So we know that normal body temperature is 37 degrees. 37 degrees. So if it's higher, okay, if it's higher, then what is going to happen? We should tell the user you are sick and you need medical attention. Okay, you are sick and you need medical attention. So we are going to make sure that that message is given to the user, just in case we are beyond the normal temperature. Now that is our challenge, or that is our task for the program that we need to do. But when we take a deep analysis, one, it means that we need to take temperature as an input. Okay, take temperature as an input. But which kind of temperature? It's going to be the one that was suggested by the task, okay, that you are going to perform. Okay, then after that, what do? We need to make a conversion for corresponding value. Okay, like someone enters Fahrenheit, then we convert. Okay, so 3, that has to happen. Print a required message, because up there we have 2 messages. Your temperature is that, definitely if it's within the normal temperature. Otherwise, if it's higher, then we have also been given a message that we are to print. Okay, so we shall need to look at that. But the first thing that we need to know is that, of course, someone might not be knowing the formula of converting from one temperature measurement to another temperature measurement. For example, for us, we are converting from Fahrenheit to centigrade. So there is no harm in searching from the internet and find out the formula, okay, because sometimes they might not give you the formula. Or what we are trying to do right now is to learn that under certain scenarios of programming, if you happen not to have an idea or to go about something more so on paper, on planning, you can make research, then carry the research and bring it in your programming concept. The same way we did last time when we talked about converting from, was it binary to decimal? Yeah, if I recall very well, in some episodes. So the same way, so you need to do some planning. That is why we talked about problem solving, whereby you need to first know the problem, then get analysis for the problem, then analyze the problem before you really do actual coding. So we are trying to make a recap of all those things that we believe we had covered. So it means we shall need to have a formula, and this formula is going to help us move, okay, forward. So conversion, we are going to have degrees centigrade, then degrees Fahrenheit minus 32, if I have not forgotten, times 5 divided by 9. Okay, so that is Celsius to Fahrenheit. I think we are together. That is Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, so of course I've done this over and over again, so that is why I've been knowing the formula, or I just try to recall. So, but of course, if you haven't, like I've told you, please try to make some research and see exactly what happens. So what we are going to do, let's begin planning about it. Okay, so I assume, to simplify life, why don't we use a function? I'll have a function. No, let's work with a program. So here shall say temp conversion. Okay, do I need this? Nope, that was in the previous session. So in the main program, then these functions, we don't need that. I didn't want to type again so that I maximize time. Okay, so right here let's try to use a double. So I'll say double temp conv. Okay, so you can name it anything, temp conv. Then here of course I can use a double once again. Now this time around, I think in the previous examples I've been using so much of prototypes, so allow me use pure functions once again. So here I can call this f, okay, meaning Fahrenheit. So what is going to happen, I can say double temp Celsius, we can call it Celsius. Okay, temp Celsius is gonna be, we are going to have, of course, it's Fahrenheit, following the formula that we have right here, minus 32 then into that. So it's gonna be f minus 32, then we shall have times 5 divided by 9. So as simple as that. Okay, so what are we going to do? Of course, after computation, we're going to command a return of temp Celsius. Simple function, it's a pure function, and it's really going to do for us something. Now back to the program. Remember we said when we have a function, we need to do what we call calling, and calling happens within the program, and we said programs begin with the main and end with the main. So inside here we can have an opening statement, and call it temperature handler program. Okay, hope it doesn't hurt that way. Temperature handler program. Now someone might ask, based on what you may be knowing already, why is he doing such a simple example? I told you the best way to learn programming is to begin basic. Each time you miss out on the basics, then even the complex bit is going to be a little bit tight. So see out once again, enter your body temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, enter body temperature in Fahrenheit. So see in, it means I needed to have a variable, okay, that was to handle the Fahrenheit bit. Okay, so what are we going to do there? Up here we can come and do a local declaration, okay, because this is going to be a local variable. Since up there we expected double, so we shall use a double again. Now someone might ask, why did you prefer using a double? I preferred using a double because I wanted more accuracy. That is one. Two, of course, temperature always have decimal values, okay, so I want more accuracy from that. So here I'll say temp, I'll call a double temp. Okay, if you want to initialize, there is no harm, so we shall have temp. So it means here someone's going to enter temp. So here allow conversion by call to the function. So you're going to allow conversion by call to the function. Okay, so what is going to happen? So on conversion, we can have something. Okay, someone has already entered that. So let's have another one here. We can call it temp after. Now why do we have temp after? Temp after is going to help us handle the value that is going to be returned from this function. So we are going to use temp after to hold a call to the function. So this is what I mean. I will set temp after is assigned what was the name of the function? The name of the function was tempconf, and tempconf is expecting a single parameter, which parameter is gonna be temp. I think you're getting that. Okay, so what is going to happen? We need to print a message to the user. We need to print a message to the user based on the value that has been provided. So it will say your temperature is this degrees centigrade. Okay, so we shall say your temperature is, shall have another output stream, that is temp after, then we shall say degrees Celsius. Hope that is the spelling. Okay, so we have printed that, but we need to check. Okay, we need to check for the normal body temperature. So to check, of course, we need to have a conditional statement. That is why we shall say if. So if what? If temp after is greater than the normal body temperature. Okay, so what shall we say based on what the query was asking for? Sorry about that. Where are we? Shall say you're sick and you need medical attention. Okay, so we shall say you are sick and you need medical attention. Okay, you're sick and you need medical attention. So basically, guys, that is what we were trying to do, So for us, we have received temperature here from the user. So then we did a conversion at this level. How? By calling a function that had already done the work up there. Then later we had to check for the temperature. Okay, so as usual, you know what we do after here. Of course, there was no any function definition because we used pure function. So we shall need to take to the kitchen and do the cooking. So in the cooking, enter your body temperature in Fahrenheit. I'll say it's 120. So it says the temperature is 48 degrees Celsius. You are sick and you need medical attention. Okay, now what if we had something a little bit lower, like 56? What does it say? It says your temperature is 13 degrees centigrade. So since we only catered for higher, then I think that is a good way to go. Hope you have picked something from this task or this challenge. Okay, let's check out for another challenge. Let's check out for another challenge. Now our challenge is going to be called difference between 2 months of the week. 2 months of the year. Okay, difference between 2 months of the year. Now this is what is going to happen. We are going to write a program. Okay, and this program will be given 2 numbers. I'm saying we are going to write a program, and this program is going to be given 2 numbers. Now those numbers have to be in the range of 1 to 12. Now 1 to 12, this means that these are going to be corresponding months of the year, that is from January to December. Okay, now what the program has to do, the program is going to count the number of months between these provided 2 months. Okay, so I enter the first month, I enter the second month, so the program is going to help me count the number of months between those 2 months that I've mentioned. I think we are getting the idea. Okay, this is what is going to happen. 1, enter the month numbers. Okay, enter the month numbers. That is beginning month and ending what? Ending month, we assume. Then 2, what the program is going to do, it's going to calculate the number of months in between. Hope we are clear about that. It's going to calculate the number of months in between. That is the program. So it means that you as a programmer, you need to improvise and see how that is going to be done. So after, it has to print any relevant message telling us how many months are between the beginning month that you specified and the ending month that you specified, but including the actual month names. Okay, so basically up there we are dealing with numbers, but of course we need to be straight. Okay, so I think we should begin straight away from that. So this was our previous program: Control A, Control C, Control N and V. What am I doing? I just don't need this up here within the main program. I don't even need this. Reason being, I'm doing something fresh. So here I'll say count the number of months in a suggested range of months. I think that makes it more clear. Have you thought about it? For example, using my calendar up here, I can say we are in July. Okay, July, August, then I'll say September. So I can ask how many months are between July and August, or July and maybe December. So the program is going to do for us that. But of course, as a programmer, that is going to be your task. Okay, so the first idea would be, still we are going to use functions. Let's say pure functions. Okay, now we need to have a function that is going to help us tell us the name of the month, because remember, the user enters numbers and the program has to devise all means to know which number refers to which month. So what we are going to do, we can say, does it make sense? We can say void tell month name. Okay, then maybe remember we expect a number, so we can say int m. Okay, so we shall do the definition there, and then so what is going to happen, we shall say string month name. Okay, we shall say string month name. Now, since we have a number of months, there are 12, and the numbers are also 12 from 1 to 12, so I think we can, it means we have a list of options to pick from. So definitely we are going to use a switch. If you remember, I told you that is where the switch comes in from. So our selector is going to be the number that is going to be given. Hope we are fine with that. So we can have as many cases as possible. So I can say case 1. Okay, case 1, it means that month name is gonna be Jan. Okay, it's gonna be January. Okay, definitely after execution, then we shall say a break. So how many months do we have? We have 12 of them. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of course, as usual, we said we always cater for what we call a default case. So here, you know, users are wiseacres, so it's possible that a user sorry about that, enters a number less than 1 or a number greater than 12. Okay, so what can we tell them? We can say, oops, not a valid month of the year. We shall not be able to know that month. Okay, at least we have catered for that for starters. So case 1, then case 2, month name is going to be February. Okay, let's just say Feb without wastage of time. So 3, we are going to have January, February, then this one is gonna be March, April, May, May, June, July, August, September, this is October, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, Nov, and December. Don't mind about the spellings for as long as we are moving in the right direction. So things which are not okay, of course you can always fix them up. So we have 4, 5, that is 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think we are okay, 11 and 12. So our function is right there. Okay, so outside, what are we going to return now? Here there was a problem. Okay, here we said the void, so we can change it to a string, and let's scatter for any unexpected appearances. So we shall have a string there. Okay, it might be necessary or not. So here we shall say return month name. So you're going to return a string. Okay, so we are done with that one function. So we need another function that is going to help us count the amount of months, or the number of months between the provided range. So here we shall say months counter between range. Okay, so we're going to have, I think you see how really functions simplify the work of programming. Like, you do all your things inside there, and when you come to the program, there's a way life moves smoothly. Okay, so this one we can say void tell period, okay, or tell months, whatever the case may be. Remember, it's a range. We have to tell the number of months between one range to another. So it means we shall have start month, s month, sorry about that, s month, then int n month. I think that makes some sense. S month means starting month, then e month begins the ending month. That is, those numbers that will be provided by the user, that is in the range of 1 to 12. But remember, we already have a function which reads the month based on the number. But remember, the other task was to know the amount of, or the number of months between one month and another. Okay, so what is going to happen? So we shall say int duration, that is in terms of months, is going to be S month minus E month. I think it's as simple as that. Minus E month. Are we there, guys? Are we? But there is a possibility that someone might give you when, instead of saying from let's pick an example from there. Instead of saying from August to December, someone can say from December to August. So as a programmer, you need to think about that too. So here we need to fix the issue of negative duration. What is it teaching us? It is teaching us to think about a scenario all way round. Remember, this is a program and it's going to be working on a machine, and it's going to be used by a certain user whom you don't know how they behave. So it's a great idea that you think about all the corners. So we need to fix the issue of the negative duration. How? Okay, we shall say if have a conditional statement. I think you see how logic is really so important. That is why we said these are called control statements or expressions in that case. So you're going to say if duration is less than 0, definitely what is going to happen? We shall say duration is assigned duration plus 12. Okay, so what shall we do for that case? We shall say see out. Of course, this one is going to be more clear when we are for that case, we are going to say there are how many? There are of course we have duration. There are duration months, okay, between between what they had provided. So it means that we are going to make a call to the previous function which tells us the name of the month, which means we shall use a function tell month name. So here we shall tell the user that there are this duration months between beginning month was S month, okay, and allow me break down, call to month again, and E month. I think, guys, we are clear there. Okay, I think we are clear there. So somehow, somewhere, I think we have really done something. So let's try to get back to our program. So our program is here. So what is going to happen? I shall say see out. Of course, I always tell you I love opening statements, reason being they tell the user what the program is really doing. So month counter between suggested months. I don't know if that makes really some some cute sense, but if it doesn't, there is no harm in you putting a better one. So of course, as usual, it's a structural programming language, so we need to identify certain things before we move any further. So of course we shall say int first month, which is 0, then a problem of spelling, first month, which is then last month, which is also 0. So after the opening statement, I'm going to tell the user cout. What is going to happen? Enter the start month. Okay, enter the start month. So we shall say cin what? Cin first month. Oh no, we need to remove that. Okay, so cout once again. So we shall say enter last month. Okay, so it's gonna be cin is what? Cin is last month. Wow. So enter first month, but we can be specific to the user. That is 1 to 12, so that the exec while knowing. So here we shall still say 1 to 12. So you exec as you are knowing. Okay, so time to tell the period. Is it period? We said the duration or months in between. Okay, so what are we going to do? Call to the function that does that. What was the name of the function? The name of the function was tell period. Okay, tell period. It expects two parameters. The first parameter is the starting month, and for us we have first month. Wow. So then the end month, and for us we have it as last month. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are on track. Okay, so yep, so we have really learned something from here. I'm hopeful about that. Okay, so let's try to go to the kitchen as usual. Control A, Control C. There we are. So enter the start month. Start month is January to January, February, March, April. Okay, so there are 9 months between January and April. Are you serious? January, February, March, April. Oh no, something is not okay, so we need to try and check out what the problem could be. Okay, so what could the problem be? Why are we getting a weird value? So once again, void tell period s month, starting month, then in the computation, this is where we this is where we compute from here. So duration, oh no, this has to be end month. It is the last month that is provided, then s month. Okay, so it means it was entering into a negative, definitely. yeah, so once again, actually what I should just do, come here instead of copying the whole program again. I'll just say this is eMath and SMath. Okay, so we try to run again. So it was 1 to 4 and there are 3 months. Wow, so it's working. January to April. There are 3 months between January and April. So it's January, then February, March, then April. Wow, so I think we have picked something from there. Debugging is key also. So it's another challenge that we have. Okay, remember I said we dedicated this session to doing more practice, which can help us do more recap of what we had covered earlier. Of course, for any questions, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Programmers Life. Okay, now let's think of another challenge. Now, in most cases, and I think we are going to begin seeing this in the future when we are writing much better programs, there is something that is called input validation. Users always have a challenge. They would love to either test the program, or they don't know what the program is expecting from them for it to do whatever it has to do. So in that case, they sometimes provide unexpected data to the program, but without forgetting, you as the programmer, as you write the program, you need to think about this. And as you write the program, at the time of its functionality, with the user, you're not going to be available. So the program should be self-reliant. Okay, it should devise means of looking into all corners for survival. And one of the challenges that programs face is input validation, or confirming if what is really being entered is what was really expected. And some sort of it is here in the previous example, because there is a possibility that a user, let's run again, that a user says from maybe from the 11th month, that is November, to the 14th month, which does not exist. Are you seeing that? So it says, oops, not a valid month of the year. So it caters for that, and says there are 3 months between November and, so this comes in because we fixed somewhere about that. So it's saying 3 months to, okay, definitely, yeah, but it's an invalid month. So you as a programmer, by the way, you can make this program better. Okay, you can make it far much better from the knowledge that you have already acquired. So we can have as much as more from such. Okay, now let's think of an idea of time, telling time. Okay, of course we shall bring in time again, but for this case we are talking about what we call input validation. Okay, checking if what is given to the program is what is really expected. Now in this program, we are going to be tasked to write a program that asks a user what time it is at that particular moment. Okay, so it means that they are to provide hours and minutes, but we need to check and validate the hours, we need to check and validate the minutes, so that it tells us the time. Okay, so that it tells us the time basing on the hours and minutes that the user gave us. Sorry about that. The user gave us. So that is where we are. Okay, because there is a possibility that someone is going to give us hours that are beyond the expected hours or below the expected hours, and there is a possibility that someone is going to give us minutes that are either below or beyond. For example, for hours, we are going to work within 24. That is going to be 0 to 23. The programming counting, because 0 is always 1, so 23 means 24 for that case. And the minuten or the minutes are going to be 0 to 59. That makes 60. Guys, are we together? We are saying 0 because you know programmers always begin counting from 0. So if 0 is 1, then 23 is 24. If 0 is 1, then 59 is 60. Are we there, guys? Are we there, people? So again, we have 2 programs so far. I'll copy from this one, and we shall have Control N, Control V. So once again, I'm deleting all that, and we don't need this. So here we're going to set time teller machine. Just some swag, nothing much, just some swag. So we need functions. I want you guys to love functions and know how they really make life simple. So we are going to check. Let's begin by validate the hours given. Let's begin by checking if what the user gave us as hours is really valid. Okay, is really valid. So what is going to happen? I can use bool. So I'll say bool bool validate hours. I can even just do like that. So hours, we shall expect hz as a variable or as a formal parameter. Then once again, we can even make it more clear here. Bool validate minutes or minutes. So this one will be int ns. Does it make some sense? Okay, it's not a must that you have to use the same formal parameters. You can always find out for as long as you know exactly what we are doing. So we are validating hours. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? So we shall say bool check. Okay, we shall say bool check. What are we checking? What are we checking? We are checking if hours are greater or equal to 0, because we said we begin from 0 to 23, and sorry about that, and hours less or equal to 59. Okay, hey, we are handling hours, sorry about that. So this one's gonna be 24. Okay, so 24. Then we shall say return check. Okay, we shall say return check. Else, what is going to happen? You can opt for another. Okay, you can opt for another if you wish so, or if you'd want the program to perform as expected or as you wish. Are you together? But me, I can leave it at that. Then the same thing applies to the minutes. What are we going to have? We can say bool check again. There is nothing that we lose. So this is and so here we shall return check. Okay, so this one is gonna be that means less or equal to greater or equal to 0, then means again is less or equal to should we say 59 or 60, whatever the case may be. Okay, now what is going to happen? Let's go into the program. See out. You can say time teller machine. Wow, some swag there. Something applies here. Okay, there is no harm in that. Of course, we need variables here that are going to help us keep track of whatever it is. So here I'll say int hours, definitely 0, and minutes, definitely 0. So initialize. So what is going to happen? We shall say cout enter hours. Okay, enter hours. Of course, let's make it more clear based on the task that we are given. What is the time? Okay, what is the time? There you go. So it's gonna ask the user to enter the hours. Of course, I love it when input is done on the same line. So cin definitely that is hours as a variable. So without wastage of time, a copy, a paste, enter minutes, enter minutes. I hope at every level we move to, you are picking something. So minutes have been entered, hours have been entered. Now time to validate the values that were given by the user. Okay, so what is going to happen? We shall say let's have it here. We can say bool is time valid? Bool is time valid. Let's begin with it being true. Okay, as a default, is time valid. Guys, you can always think of any variable name that you wish, as long as you know what you're doing. So is time valid, let's give it an expression. Now remember, we need to validate both at the same time. So we need to validate hours and minutes. So here we check if hours and minutes are valid. So the variable should hold a true for a valid time. So what does it mean? It means that we are going to use and, because it's only and only true when both are true. So what is going to happen? We had a variable which was called validate hours. We had a function. Sorry about that. So we had this function and we had another function which was called validate means. So here we shall say and okay. So here it is hours. We already have our variable, and here it is minutes. So we already have our variable here. So what is going to happen? So we shall have a conditional check. Okay, so we shall have if. Another thing that if you have noted so well, it is very hard that you can have a good program without control statements, because the program has to be guided in its execution. So which variable are we checking? We are checking is time valid. Okay, is time valid? If it's true, we are going to say out. Wow, the time is, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? The time is hours. Okay. Then minutes. Okay. I think that is okay. Let's put this here just for swag. The time is that. Okay, but of course there is a possibility whereby someone gave us time that we don't expect, weird hours or weird minutes. So of course we need to improvise for that also. So we shall need to have an else body. Incorrect time of the day. Let's say check planet. Check planet, maybe on a different planet. That is why you're giving us weird time, but we don't care. The program has already sorted that. Okay, wow. So there we are. Okay, what did we do? We had two functions. One is validating minutes, another one is validating hours. Means, this is where is this a coming from? We said means, and here it doesn't make sense. Okay, I think that is fine. Then later we ask the user to enter the minutes and the hours based on the variables that we have here. Then we have a checker which is by default a true, so it has to be verified from here. Otherwise, if it is false, then we cannot have the correct time. Control A, Control C to the kitchen so that we do some cooking. So enter hours. Hours are 11 and minutes are 45. Is it the correct time? The time is 11:45. Are you serious? Hours are 19. Okay, and minutes are 67. Do we have anything like that? Nope. Incorrect time of the day. check planet. So I think we are really doing so well here. So it's 23 and minutes are 5. Okay, so you can also modify the program to append a 0 for any minute that is less than 10. Yeah, you can modify the program. I'm sure you can do that for me. Once again, this session is for a recap of what I expect guys to be knowing from what we had covered earlier. Okay, now in the same session I want us to look at one last thing which will help us work out something. Okay, now previously we talked about arrays. Okay, we talked about arrays, I remember very well. Where had we just written? Okay, this is going to be our challenge number 4, or our task number 4. Recently we talked about arrays, and what was in there was really a lot. Okay, but there was a scenario where I talked about sorting. I don't know if it was among these questions here. Where was it? Here. Was it here? I remember talking about sorting. Then I asked guys to do what we call a bubble sort. I don't know, I'm not seeing it here. Biggest among them. No, check out in the previous episodes. I know it is somewhere, but I remember I talked about it. So here we are once again. I want us to revisit arrays, but we do some bit of sorting. Okay, now sorting, I'll begin straight away. Sorting means put in order. Okay, sorting means put in order, either from the largest to the smallest, or from the smallest to the largest. So here we are going to put in order a set of values. First, we are going to be straight. We are going to be having what we call the ascending order. Ascending order means from the smallest to the largest. Okay, so what we have to keep in mind is that we have 2 tasks for this case in our scenario. We are going to have we shall say, let's use a method, let's use a function again that will receive the items to sort. I think for reminder, we had that talked about passing arrays to functions. I think anyone can do that by now. If you have watched all my previous episodes, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Programmer's Life, and all will be well along the way. Okay, so it means we are going to use a method that will receive the items to sort. So another task is how to sort the items. Okay, that is really very important, how to sort the items. Okay, so I think we can move ahead as we explain. This is what we have just done previously. This is what we done. This is what we began with. So I love copying from here. Control N and Control V as usual. I don't need anything to do with this program. Here, what are we dealing with? Sorting data items. Okay, I don't need this too, but we need a function. Okay, function, a method to do the sorting. Are you guys thinking of what is really going to happen? Now, so what should we do here? Now we are going to do sorting, and we agreed that our sorting is going to be ascending, that is from the smallest to the largest. But in programming, we have quite a number of sorting algorithms that allow us to sort items in any order that you wish. But for this case, for us, we are going to use what we call a selection sort algorithm. Okay, but of course you can decide. We have quite a number. We have merge sort, we have quick sort, we have bubble sort, we have selection sort, and so many others. But for us, we are going to select out selection sort. Now this method, I think I should go back and write something so that okay, so our selection algorithm is selection sort algorithm. Okay, and how does it flow? This kind of sorting, it means that divide the array in two parts. Divide the array in two parts. Okay, that is sorted and unsorted. Sorted and unsorted. So you get a split. Okay. Now the sorted part has to be on the left side of the array, while the unsorted has to be on the right side. So unsorted I mean, unsorted, we have said it has to be on the right. Then I'm explaining to you briefly how the selection sort works. So this one has to be on the left part, but of course if you fail to understand from here, there is no harm in asking Mr. Google or other sources of information how the selection sort works. But I've said first we begin by dividing the array into two. We have the sorted, it will take the left, and we have the unsorted, which will take the right. Okay, with one of the elements, and the unsorted begins shrinking by one element, by one element, by one element. So what does it mean? It means that the sorted array bit, or the left part, is always empty, and the unsorted is the one that is filled with a number of items. But each time that we do a sorting, it means that the right unsorted part begins losing one item per item per item per item. But where does it lose them to? It loses each item to the sorted section, that is the left section. Okay, I think that is so that is what we call selection sorting. Altogether, that is what we call selection sorting. Now this is how we are going to implement that for this case. So briefly, it is about that. Okay, maybe one more thing is that as you're beginning, as you're beginning to do the sorting, the algorithm must find the minimal element in the unsorted part. Okay, so what we call the minimal element means that the minimal element must swap with the first element from the unsorted part. Okay, you do a swap. Now there might be a need for a swap if at all you allowed the sorted section to have these elements again, but it's better, I think, when you have them, when you have the left part having no element. Okay, so you always look out for the minimal, the minimal, the minimal, the minimal as you continue replacing with the left section. So finally you'll have the sorted bit. By the way, selection sort is really a good way and a quicker way and a simpler way to do that. So to try to wrap up in that section, we shall need to have a method that is going to help us do that. So a method to do the sorting, we shall be specific, the selection sorting, guys. Okay, so I'll say int sorter. We can call it sorter. We can call it sorter. So we have sorter. So we shall say int items, then int size. Okay, I think we have done that before. So what is gonna happen, we shall say for of course it's gonna be less than size. Okay, so we shall put it there. So in the first bit we shall be traversing through the unsorted part of the array. Okay, like we've said, then oh no, so no, let's open up here the sorting algorithm logic. Okay, so there we are. So it's gonna be int I to 0 less than, so it's gonna be size minus 1. Okay, now inside you're going to have 4. Now here shall be traversing through the unsorted part of the array. Okay, so here shall be having j and j. Okay, so definitely it's less than the size. Okay, so inside allow swaps to sort. Remember, swap is done on the left side. Okay, so we shall say if what, if items into I is greater than items into j, then what's going to happen? We shall have something we forgot. Okay, so we shall say int place. Okay, place is going to help us hold values as we swap. So inside here, items into I is greater than items into J. So here we shall say place. Place is assigned items into I. Okay. Then we shall say items into I is assigned items into J. Okay. We are now making swaps and replacements. So we shall say shall say items into J is assigned place. Okay, so definitely what are we going to return in the end? We are going to return items. Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? Okay, we are going to do that. We are going to see that when we are in the kitchen. So for now we are mixing up things here and there, we are spicing. So later we need to see how things really work out. Okay, so we have had a sort up there. Then we shall need to print the numbers after being sorted. So printing what will have been sorted. Okay, so what are we going to have? I'll say void print sorted. So print sorted, of course we shall have int items, then it will be int size. Okay guys, you see how functions are doing a wonderful job. We had size. This is I and J. Okay, so in this bit what is going to happen? We shall use a for loop, of course. I think you know why we are using a for loop. For loops, we are using them because we know the number of times we need to execute. So as usual we shall have, there you go. So we shall say cout what are we going to have here? Items. So we are going to print items into I. Okay, if I is less than size minus 1, okay, so here I'll say cout. Okay, there we go. Oh, I don't know if you guys are really understanding what I'm doing, but I'm trying to implement what we call selection sort. So finally I'll be printing a sorted bit of the array for that case, but the program has not yet started. So for the program to start, here you can have a static array, or you can allow a user to enter an array, of course. So this time around, since we provided an open array here and an open size in both functions, so automatically the user should provide that for us. So we shall say int array size, which is definitely 0. So cout array sorting program using selection sort. I think what we shall do, I'll find a full episode to talk about sorting algorithms. It will make life a bit hard, a bit simple. And actually, if you after watching that episode, if you come back and reflect back to this episode, I think more so this section, I think things will really make a lot of sense. So cout I'm gonna say what is the size of the array. Okay, I mean the array that you want to sort. So in this one's gonna be array size. So here we shall say, let's do what, let's declare the array required for sorting. So this one's gonna be int my array into array size, since we have the array size there. Okay, so what is going to happen? What is going to happen is cout, hope guys are with me. Let's build the array first. So the user is going to build the array first. So what is going to happen? We shall say for array size. Okay, for array size, it's really a wonderful program. It's helping us really reflect back from a lot that we have been doing. So this one's gonna be cout enter item at my what, my array into I. Okay, my array into I. So definitely what is it going to be? Actually, you can even use pointers here, no problem. So in my array into I. Okay, my array into I. So the array has been created by the user. So let's pass it to the sorting method. So what was our sorting method? Our sorting method was sorter. Our sorting method was sorter. So we shall say sorter into what? shall say sorter into my array and array size. Okay, so it has been sorted. So after being sorted, we shall say let's first give the user the version of the unsorted array. The unsorted array is, I think we had forgotten that, because the user will not know exactly if the array was sorted if they never got the chance to look at the unsorted bit of it. So here we shall do the same. The unsorted array is, this is array size into I. Actually, even all these building the array, you could have a function for it. Printing the unsorted array, you could have a function for it. There is no harm in doing that because we already know all the principles that operate here. So here we are going to say cout no, let's put this out to make life more meaningful here. The unsorted is that. Okay, so inside here it's gonna be cout my array into I, but each time we print an element, let's do a termination, then finally let's have this the same here, but definitely we are closing. Okay, what did I do? Wow. So sorter, we are sorting. So after sorting, cout, here we shall say the sorted array. Okay, the sorted array. Sorted array, we had a method that prints the sorted array, which was print sorted, So print sorted, of course, it expects two parameters. It expects a parameter for my array and array size. Ladies and gentlemen, are we okay? Wow, what an episode. So I think we try to go to the kitchen. Control A, Control C. So to the kitchen, as usual, we always have too much salt, too much spicing, a number of things happen. It is saying on line 23, conversion from int to int. Are you serious? On line 23, what is it saying? Invalid conversion int to int. Okay, we need to think about that. Then the saying on line 61, no match for operator. What is line 61 saying? Oh, this is just a misspell. Errors can be reduced one by one. So return items on line 23. Okay, let's go back to our program here. The first problem that the compiler told us is here. Then the compiler is complaining about line 23. Okay, it's here.